All right, stock market analysis and projections on the S&P 500. Some important information first. Please do read this slide. It really tells you about our approach to analysis in the markets and how that applies to you. All right, stock market analysis, S&P 500. We're going to look at the intermediate and the short term as we look at the SPX. Let's take a look here as we go to this slide, these charts right over here. And on the left, we have a weekly chart, and on the right over here, we have a daily chart. I'm going to blow up the weekly chart first, but it's important to see the side by side when we look at this because there's important information as you see. And I'm going to tell you that right now before I get to the analysis. You can see in here this minor cycle right there and the timing for a correction and a trough somewhere in the middle there. This is a super bullish pattern that you see right here, and this is what it looks like on the daily chart right there. And this says, well, maybe coming down for another week. This shows you on the daily chart and that yellow zone where the period of risk is maybe coming down for another week. And these are important synchronized timing that we have here on these cycles. Let's look at the individual analysis here as we look at the intermediate or weekly chart here on the S&P 500. I'm just going to take it through these three major harmonic families. A harmonic family is when you have a dominant cycle right over here that is broken up into smaller cycles. In this case, you're seeing half cycles. A half cycle right there, and then the whole dominant cycle here. Here's a half and a half. And notice this is shorter right in here because there is a variance in cycle lengths. And right over here, you could see we're in the first half. Now, when the first half is this strong, and this is the reversal scout showing you the strong upside momentum, then the longer it stays up, the more brief the corrective period, as you see right over here. This doesn't leave much. It is similar to what you saw right over here, where it corrected for 2 or 3 weeks and then began to move up sharply again. When you have this bullish configuration right over here, which means that it has a high and a low higher than the previous low, then the high is likely to be higher than that previous high, as you see right over there. So that is a very good indication of that when it hits the support, and that's really a buy zone, and then it moves up again. That's what we have right over here as we're projecting it coming down and hitting the support level right over here. This is right around 4,300 right there on the weekly, maybe just a few cents lower, and that would be why we have our target there. Of course, this rally was much further than we had originally thought. We thought it would be stopping here between 4,300 and 4,360 right over here, but it got through it. So what that does is it raises up the support levels, and that's why our downside targets are higher than they were before. The market just tells us this. It's very mechanical on our part, and still it's very valuable information as we look at that. That would say that there is another rally coming over here, just as this did over here, out into later in the summer, probably out into August. That then gives you a peak that would be above that level right over there, that peak being for around 44. 48. So, up here, the projections would be about just over 4,500 to potentially about 4,530, somewhere in that area. The very least would be testing that number. So you can see we have both scenarios in here of a test, pullback, and then a test, or a pullback and then a move to 4,500. But then we get into this period of risk right over here. That's like this one over here, except that this was a negative cycle. You see the first minor cycle was negative. That says that the next rally will fail in resistance sell zone, which it did, and then come down and take out that low. In this case, this is a positively configured situation, so we would not expect it to be as steep on the downside in here. Still, this is a period of risk, and that downside could be greater than what we are showing it right now, which is basically giving up about half the rally that we expect. Were that to be the case, then this low over here was around 3,800, this high around 4,500, let's say. That's about 700 points. That would give you a decline of an ideal decline of around 350 points. If that is how it laid out. So again, what this shows is that another week or so of this decline and then another rally. That makes this a buy zone or a buying opportunity for short-term aggressive traders. This decline in here again is very shallow so far. With not a lot of time to go, and you can see strong upward momentum right over here. This momentum may not even turn down. You can see the momentum turned down over here, but then turned up immediately. This may not even turn down in here and then show you the strength that it has. So now I'm going to move over to the daily chart. Remember, this says maybe another week or so of decline in the stock market. And this is the daily chart right there. And you can see in here, these big harmonic families, they're made up of this big dominant cycle, a half cycle, and a quarter cycle. The quarter cycles have not been super clear right now. The half cycles are much more clear, which you see right here and then right here. It broke out of this diamond formation. When that happened, we knew it was very strong, and just a minor pullback that you see right over there in that yellow zone, and then moved up again sharply. You could see the slim ribbon in here. The slim ribbon PO shows you that little blue arrow there. That's the only time it neutralized in here. And these green arrows are giving you signals of upside resumptions in momentum conditions. Those were very positive conditions right in here. So along with the weekly reversal scalp, the daily slim ribbon, as you see right over here, has been extremely bullish, and that's helped us know that even though we were looking for a correction, and this is reflected in our new market condition monitor, the MCM, which you can get by taking our level 3 special that we just offered. You will be able to see these market conditions as they change for different trader styles. So right now we're in this corrective period. The ideal low comes over here right around the second week of July. So it could fall into here, which is the first week of July. It could get out over here, which is the second week of July. And that's what this shows. Now, the slim ribbon often gives support, as you see right over here, as it gets down into it. So these support areas are pretty significant. This is roughly around 43.20 on this support level, on the minor support level, and on the weekly support levels right over here, this takes it down to about 4,300. So that's what we're looking for, 43.20, 4,300 down over here, and then moving up again. You can see our projection is here, moving back up towards that 4,500 area in this rising cycle, this minor rising cycle, and the fact that this configuration is so positive and timing translation is so positive, we know that this dominant cycle has not peaked yet, the peak being somewhere out over here. So these will be three driving forces to the upside that come starting around the second week of July, and that puts July and a good portion of August into a positive period. That's why looking at, again, this side by side right over here, you can see what we're looking at, and that is this corrective period right here on the weekly, that's syncing up with this corrective period there on the daily, and then right over here where this minor cycle here turns upward. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 cycles pushing to the upside in July, and that is suggestive that there will be another upside significant move in this July-August period, and that's why our upside target is right over here up to this 45.30 area right there. That's what we think is the highest probability, and then again, we believe that this is a mini bull market in a secular bear market, so we would not be looking for new high bull market levels, which is what so many analysts out there are saying. and we just, based on our sum of the evidence, and I will show you this as we get into July, what the bigger picture looks like in the stock market and other markets. So that's important. That will be available to our level 2, 3, and 4 members in the middle of July. That's when I get back from. There will be no market week next week because I will be at the WSOP in Las Vegas. So that's going to be my second quarter week off. I usually take one week off a quarter. And so there will be no market week. I'll be at the WSOP, and then 2 weeks from today will be the next market week. I hope that was just unbelievably valuable information to you looking at that. I really wanted to break down the way the cycle analysis works. And of course, go to askSlim.com, go to workshops, and there's a whole video in there, an explanation of our cycle analysis that you can see for free. So you'll learn a tremendous amount just by going to that informational page at askSlim.com workshops. Please do take advantage. Our popular services preview ended today, and you can continue with all of these great services at a 35% discount. You can get information on that by going to askSlim.com, the top of the front page, and click the Learn More button, and you will find out how to get these 35% discounts and the huge amount of educational content and analysis and tools for you to use as you trade in the markets, all available there at this very significant discount.